One third of the time, you should feel great. One third okay, and one third shitty. Relay this into anything you do in life. If it applies, you're probably doing okay. If it feels too shit, you're going too hard. If it's a breeze, you're going too easy. This advice mainly applies for training because it's something that we usually track and can feel out, how well we perform on a daily basis. What I like to do on these days when I feel like shit and just can't push myself, I like to experiment. Test out exercises that, aren't conventionally well known or anything. See how they work or maybe you can bring up those imbalances we all have. Maybe your shoulder's a little bigger. Who knows? Naturally, you can also just goof around and have fun. Training, however, is not everything in life, and sometimes you can't move forwards on other areas of your life. Maybe school is, school. Maybe work is too much. Maybe you hate your partner or you're fed up with your status quo. It doesn't matter really. Again, do some experimenting. See how you can spice your shit up for a while. Try meditation, journaling, religion, cold approaching, going to the movies alone, to a bar and strike up a conversation with an old timer and talk about Vietnam. Who knows? You can also just listen to yourself. You can go for walks and talk to yourself like a fucking crazy maniac, or you can just listen to your dreams. You know, I think dreams as if they were poems, or those stories are very hard to understand. They have tons of hidden meanings and illusions. You can figure out some wild shit just from understanding your dreams. Typically, by understanding what the fuck you're saying, they're usually metaphors. They also tell you kind of what the type of stuff you consume. Because I honestly hate those people that say their dreams are just crazy stuff. Like horses on fucking the moon or whatever. Well, in my opinion, they're just kind of watching a bunch of shit and not really consuming good stuff. Dreams kind of have structure to them. That is, if you don't consume shit like TikTok. I think this is the instance where if whatever you get in, it's kind of like calories in, calories out. I just think of it shit in, shit out. Whatever you watch, you know, kind of influences how you dream. Man, I'm sure you've heard of this thing that happens to people where they're just well off. They aren't doing amazing nor shit, just meh. So they never strive to seek out a better tomorrow. I'm afraid that most of us, in fact, all of us, are kind of like this. Life was a 3 out of 10, maybe. You joined the gym and got jacked. A bit. Now life is a 5 out of 10. You don't have a job, maybe school is boring, but you got some buddies and you see your crush here and there. Maybe it's a 6 out of 10. Or maybe a 5 out of 10, who knows? Maybe you want to do YouTube, start a business, uh, go hiking, move countries. There's so many ideas, so many futures you can have, but it might lead to nothing. Doubt has entered your mind. I mean, I could chill out and date my crush, graduate, get an okay job, and be average. Or you can experiment. When you say it like this, yeah, you get all depressed and confused about what the current choice might be. Since you're confused and stuck in a crossroad, you open TikTok and start scrolling. Dreams and doubts fade until endless scrolls. You'll remain the same. This is why I think it will never be bad enough for most of us. I mean, majority of guys aren't half bad. We do some cool shit and try to get marginally better. But the shit we consume controls us for better or for worse. Unless you're heavy on destructive shit like alcohol, parties, drugs, and stuff like that, you'll never have that hard wake up call. I'm not saying to get drunk and all. To be honest, I don't know much, but I just know that it will take a very long time for your situation to get bad enough for you to get your shit together and build your future. How many fucking stories we've heard of those 50-year-old guys that are suddenly wake up and they realize that the life they have is kind of shit, you know? To think we've been able to build empires, fight wars, fly to the moon, if it even happened, and even fucking teach monkeys how to ride bikes. Yet waking up when you say you want to wake up suddenly becomes impossible. I start to wonder whether they had the same problems as I am having, whether they'd fix it or just make up on the time they lost somewhere else during the day. You aren't the only one that goes through this inner test of the will. You and countless others will search how to stop procrastinating on YouTube, or those bullshit daily routines from those intellectuals. Nothing will work until you realize and internalize the cause of your problem. Only you can solve it, really. Maybe with the help of others, but it really is up to you. I think that body and mind are constantly on the search of balance, inner peace, call it whatever. We mostly focus on the body, but figuring out the mind is what's tough. Shit's a fucking maze, dude. You might be on the right path, and then, nope, it was a dead end all along. If life is good, you should study it. See what you did, what you're doing, and how you react to stuff. If life is shit, you should study it, see what you did, what you're doing, and how you react to stuff. Just because it's shit now won't mean it will remain so. You just gotta embrace the nature of the beast and be ready to feel shit at least 1/3 of the time. The other 2/3, we're being chilling. The only thing I want to drill into that fuckable head of yours is that you will never have that wake up call until it's too late, or you've done some massive self destruction. You have to create a sense of urgency to get your ass out of bed and make some exponential improvements on your life. It's time to get a grip and be a fucking man of your word and wake the fuck up. Alright, let's talk a little bit about training and how it's been going. Actually, the reason why I made this video, the topic of the video, how sometimes it's kind of shit, sometimes it's kind of good, was actually inspired because of one of my workouts in which I just could not do anything. So I started to do some experimenting and found some stuff that would be useful for correcting some imbalances I have, especially on the left arm. Just sort of bringing out those biceps to the same size that my right arm has. But yeah, I've been thinking of making a program review, or sort of teaching you how to make a program, the mentality you need to have, what to avoid, and sort of some tips so as to make an okay program for a beginner. I'm thinking of making that in the future, so watch out for that. And but yeah, in this video, I was working out with my back, started to introduce the pullovers and some chest. Well, no, it's not, the pullovers are not for chest, but I meant to say that after the pullovers, I like to just do some push-ups so as to, add some volume in to the chest, even though the pullovers are not meant to target the chest. But I still like to do them. Those L pull-ups that I was doing were fucking hard, man. I like to do them explosive and just do like 6 that are pretty explosive. Sometimes I do 8, but it's really just, try to pull yourself as hard as you can. And then I start to taper off at the end. But it's pretty fucking fun to do them, and your abs get really sore. It's not really an L pull-up. It's more like a V chin-up. My fucking legs are not even that straight, but I'm getting there. They're pretty hard to do, so you should give them a try. But overall, training has been going pretty well. I've been hitting some good numbers for some good reps. I've started to just train for hypertrophy. Started to not care so much about strength, although strength has been going up just due to the nature of the sport. But yeah, it's really just a game about patience, and you'll get big, man. We can get big together. But yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.